Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Learn and Talk podcast. Today, we are talking about something everyone struggles with, making better daily decisions. We all face choices, big and small, every day. Sometimes we make decisions too quickly, sometimes we overthink, and other times we regret them later.
Exactly, Emma. Making good decisions is not just about logic, it's also about understanding ourselves, our priorities, and the situation. Many learners also feel stressed because they fear making mistakes in decisions.
In this episode, we'll teach you how to make better choices every day using practical strategies, simple English phrases, and grammar that helps you express your thoughts clearly. You will also learn modern expressions to talk about choices, options, and consequences.
Before we begin, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and tell us about a decision you made today. Your stories will inspire other learners and help you practice English naturally.
And remember to subscribe to the Learn and Talk podcast for daily lessons that connect English learning with real life. Let's dive in and make better decisions together. Daniel, many people say they make decisions based on feelings or mood, and later they regret their choices. Sometimes, they make impulsive decisions without thinking carefully. So my question is, how can learners make better daily decisions by balancing emotion and reason? Please include expressions such as weigh options, consider consequences, and think carefully. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use modal verbs like should, might, and could to discuss choices. Finally, how can learners speak about their decisions in English without sounding unsure or indecisive?
Emma, balancing emotion and reason is the key to making better daily decisions. Emotions provide important information, they show what matters to us, but pure emotion can lead to impulsive choices. Reason helps us analyze options and consequences. Learners can talk about weighing options. For example, I should consider both benefits and risks before deciding. Modal verbs like should, might, and could help express thoughtfulness. For example, I might choose the healthier option. I could wait until tomorrow to decide. I should ask for advice first. Considering consequences is another critical step. Learners can say, if I make this choice, I might save time but feel stressed later. This uses the first conditional, which clearly links actions and outcomes. Grammar also helps express confidence. Instead of saying, I think maybe this is good, learners can say, I believe this is the best choice for today. Replacing weak verbs with stronger ones communicates clarity. Finally, learners can describe decisions after they make them. For example, I decided to finish my work before checking social media because it helps me focus. Using past simple clearly shows the choice made and reasons. In conclusion, better daily decisions come from balancing feelings with reasoning, using modal verbs to explore options, and clearly expressing outcomes. This approach improves both decision-making and English communication.
Daniel, sometimes learners overthink decisions and get stuck. They analyze every detail, compare too many options, and spend hours worrying. This leads to stress and wasted time. So my question is, how can learners make effective decisions quickly and avoid overthinking? Please include expressions such as trust your instincts, prioritize options, and set a time limit. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use simple present and imperatives to give themselves guidance. Also, how can learners talk about quick decisions confidently in English?
Emma, overthinking is a common problem in decision-making. To make effective decisions quickly, learners should prioritize options and trust their instincts. Trusting instincts doesn't mean ignoring reasoning, it means giving weight to your gut feeling after evaluating key factors. Using simple present tense helps learners give themselves guidance. For example, I focus on the most important options first, or I ignore minor details that do not matter. Imperatives are also useful, decide now, or choose one option and move forward. These structures provide clarity and reduce hesitation. Prioritizing options is critical. Learners can ask themselves, which choice has the biggest impact today? This question helps sort options effectively. Grammar structures like first, then, finally can organize thoughts. First, I list options. Then, I weigh benefits. Finally, I make a decision. Time limits also prevent overthinking. Learners can say, I will decide in 5 minutes, or I can choose tomorrow if needed. Using future forms like will or going to communicates planned action confidently. To express quick decisions naturally, learners can use phrases like, I will go with my first idea, or I trust my choice. This reinforces confidence and clarity in communication. In conclusion, effective quick decisions combine instinct, prioritization, and structured thinking. Using simple grammar, imperatives, and confident phrases helps learners make decisions efficiently and speak about them clearly in English.
Daniel, my final question focuses on learning from past decisions. Many learners repeat mistakes or feel frustrated when outcomes are not ideal. They often hesitate to make future choices because of fear. So my question is, how can learners reflect on past decisions and use them to improve future choices? Please include expressions such as learn from mistakes, reflect on outcomes, and improve decision-making. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use past simple and present perfect to talk about past experiences and lessons. Also, how can learners discuss past decisions in English without sounding negative?
Emma, reflecting on past decisions is one of the most powerful ways to improve future choices. Learners can talk about mistakes as learning opportunities, not failures. Using expressions like learn from mistakes, reflect on outcomes, and improve decision-making helps shift perspective from regret to growth. Grammar supports reflection. The past simple is used for completed actions, I chose the wrong project last week, or I spent too much time worrying yesterday. The present perfect links past actions to present lessons, I have learned to prioritize important tasks, or I have discovered that setting a time limit helps me decide faster. When discussing past decisions, learners should focus on what they learned. For example, I decided to skip exercise yesterday, and I realized it affected my energy. Now I plan my workouts first. This structure shows cause and effect clearly. Reflecting without negativity also involves using neutral or positive language. Instead of saying, I always fail, learners can say, I am learning to make better choices. Modifiers like better, improved, and more effective communicate growth. Learners can also practice speaking about past decisions by telling stories. For example, last week, I had 2 options for lunch. I chose the healthy one, and I felt more focused in the afternoon. Storytelling makes reflection natural and conversational. In conclusion, reflecting on past decisions using clear grammar, positive expressions, and structured storytelling improves both decision-making skills and English fluency. Learning from experiences allows learners to approach future choices confidently.
Daniel, many learners struggle with decisions because they feel overwhelmed by too many choices every day. From breakfast to work tasks, social plans to learning goals, everything feels like a decision. This constant choice-making can be stressful and reduce confidence. So my question is, how can learners simplify daily decisions and stay focused without feeling overloaded? Please include expressions such as simplify choices, focus on priorities, and reduce stress. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use imperatives and present simple to give themselves daily guidance. Also, how can learners talk about simplifying decisions in English naturally?
Emma, decision overload is very common in modern life. The brain cannot handle too many choices at once, which leads to stress and hesitation. The solution is to simplify choices by focusing on priorities and eliminating unnecessary options. Learners can use imperatives as self-guidance, decide quickly, focus on what matters, or ignore small details. Imperatives are clear, direct, and motivate action. The present simple tense is also helpful. I focus on the most important task first, or I choose healthy options for breakfast. These statements are simple, confident, and easy to remember. Prioritization is key. Learners can ask themselves, which decision impacts my day most? Once they identify the top priority, smaller choices become easier. For example, if work tasks are the priority, deciding lunch can be quick. I will eat something simple today. Another strategy is to set routines. Decisions about breakfast, morning exercise, or study time can be pre-decided. I always exercise at 7 a.m. Routines reduce daily mental load and save energy for bigger decisions. When learners talk about simplifying decisions in English, they can say, I simplified my choices today and felt more relaxed, or I focused on what really matters. Using past simple or present perfect communicates action and improvement. In conclusion, simplifying decisions improves focus and reduces stress. Using simple grammar, routines, and clear self-guidance allows learners to make better choices and speak about them confidently in English.
Daniel, sometimes learners make good decisions, but they hesitate to act on them because they fear failure or criticism. They plan everything perfectly but never take action. So my question is, how can learners turn their decisions into action confidently and speak about taking action in English? Please include expressions such as take action, follow through, and overcome hesitation. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use future forms like will and going to express planned action. Also, how can learners describe actions confidently even if the result is uncertain?
Emma, making decisions is only the first step. Action is what makes decisions effective. Many learners hesitate because they fear mistakes, failure, or judgment. Confidence grows when learners take action and follow through, even imperfectly. Learners can use future forms to express planned action. I will start my project today, or I am going to try this solution now. Using will shows determination, and going to shows intention. Both structures communicate confidence and decisiveness. Overcoming hesitation is about starting small. For example, if a learner decides to exercise, they can say, I will do a 10-minute walk first, rather than trying to do everything at once. Breaking actions into small steps makes follow-through easier. Grammar helps learners speak about action clearly. They can use present simple for habits, I take notes every morning, or past simple for completed actions, I tried the new method yesterday. These structures sound confident, even when results are uncertain. When learners describe actions, they can focus on effort rather than outcome. I followed through on my decision and learned something new, or I took action even though I wasn't sure what would happen. This mindset communicates growth and determination. Finally, combining decisions with action builds momentum. Each small step increases confidence, improves English communication, and strengthens decision-making skills. In conclusion, turning decisions into action requires planning, small steps, and positive language. Using future forms, present simple, and past simple allows learners to speak confidently about their actions and embrace progress, even when outcomes are not perfect.
Daniel, sometimes learners make a decision but later feel anxious because they keep imagining what-if scenarios. They worry about negative outcomes and wonder if they made the right choice. So my question is, how can learners reduce worry after making a decision and stay calm while speaking about it in English? Please include expressions such as accept the outcome, trust your choice, and stay calm. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use modal verbs and conditional sentences to discuss possibilities and reassurance. Also, how can learners speak confidently about decisions even when results are uncertain?
Emma, worry after making a decision is natural, but it can prevent learners from feeling confident or taking action. The first step is to accept the outcome. Every decision carries uncertainty, and it's impossible to control everything. Accepting this fact reduces mental stress. Learners can use modal verbs like might, could, and should to talk about possibilities without overthinking. I might have done it differently, but this choice works for now. I could adjust later if needed. I should focus on what I can control. Conditional sentences are also useful for reassurance. For example, if I make a mistake, I will learn from it. If the outcome is not perfect, I can try again. These sentences help learners plan for possible outcomes without panic and sound calm when speaking English. Using present simple and future forms strengthens clarity, I trust my choice, or I will focus on the next step. Focusing on effort rather than perfection also helps. Learners can say, I made a decision and acted on it. That is progress. This language communicates confidence and reduces fear of criticism. Finally, practicing positive self-talk reinforces calmness, I have done my best, or I am improving every day. These statements combine grammar, vocabulary, and mindset to build both decision-making and English-speaking confidence. In conclusion, learners reduce worry by accepting outcomes, using modal verbs and conditional sentences, focusing on effort, and practicing positive self-talk. This approach builds calmness and helps learners speak about decisions clearly and confidently.
Daniel, my final question is about learning from feedback. Many learners make decisions and receive advice or criticism from others. Some feel confused or discouraged by different opinions and hesitate to trust themselves. So my question is, how can learners use feedback to improve future decisions and talk about it confidently in English? Please include expressions such as consider feedback, evaluate advice, and improve future choices. From a grammar perspective, explain how learners can use past simple, present perfect, and modals to talk about learning from feedback. Also, how can learners express their opinions clearly without sounding defensive?
Emma, feedback is a valuable tool for improving decisions, but it must be evaluated carefully. Learners should consider feedback and weigh advice against their own goals and priorities. Not every opinion requires action, but understanding different perspectives helps make better future choices. Grammar supports confident discussion of feedback. The past simple describes what happened. I received advice from my teacher yesterday. The present perfect links past experience to the present. I have learned from past feedback. Modal verbs help express polite evaluation and possibility. I could try this suggestion next time, or I should apply this advice when it is relevant. Learners should focus on expressing opinions clearly without defensiveness. Phrases like, I understand your advice, and I will consider it, or, that is helpful, but I think this option fits me better, are both polite and confident. These sentences use simple structures and modal verbs to communicate thoughtfulness. Reflecting on feedback is key. Learners can say, I received feedback on my project and noticed areas for improvement. Next time, I will plan differently. This uses past simple, present perfect, and future forms together, showing learning and confidence. Finally, discussing feedback helps English fluency. Learners practice modal verbs, conditionals, and past tenses while sharing experiences. Using neutral and positive expressions reduces stress and reinforces confident communication. In conclusion, learners improve future decisions by evaluating feedback carefully, using grammar to express learning and plans, and speaking politely and clearly. Feedback becomes a tool for growth, building both decision-making skills and English-speaking confidence.
In this episode of the Learn and Talk podcast, we explored the essential skill of making better daily decisions and expressing them confidently in English. Daily life is full of choices, both big and small, and how we approach these decisions affects our productivity, stress levels, and personal growth. We discussed how learners can balance emotion and reason, avoid overthinking, take action on decisions, reflect on past experiences, and use feedback effectively. Grammar and vocabulary play a vital role. Modal verbs, conditionals, present simple, past simple, present perfect, and future forms help learners clearly express options, possibilities, intentions, and outcomes. Simple sentence structures, fixed phrases, and positive self-talk also strengthen confidence. One of the key lessons is that confidence in decision-making and English speaking grows with practice. It comes from planning, acting, learning from mistakes, and reflecting on experiences. Accepting imperfection, simplifying choices, prioritizing, and trusting your instincts all help learners make smarter decisions and speak about them naturally. Remember, decision-making is not just about choosing correctly every time. It's about learning, improving, and communicating effectively. By combining thoughtful choices with clear English expression, learners can navigate daily life confidently, reduce stress, and continuously grow both personally and linguistically. Confidence, clarity, and action are the keys, one decision and one sentence at a time.